Hey people, Intro here, 3v3 faction war. This is Meridian High City and Tyranids versus the Space Marines. For the blue Tyranid team, we have Centzontotochtin as a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling hero, great mobility, powerful offense, and a bit of support begins with a ranged weapon alongside a couple of Lictor Alphas, Ruthless at heart and Marky. These are melee specialists, infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support for the red Space Marines. The Tenso as a Techmarine starts off with a ranged weapon. Where's he gone? There he is. Can support with structures and repair. Is going to meet the wrath of a Lictor Alpha in a second. There it is. Alongside Default Knight as an Apothecary, support hero fighting in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. And rounding off the teams, Jamboo's Force Commander, very strong offense and versatility fighting in melee. And we got some Raven Guard. Where are you, Jamboo? You're in the north. South then is the Tenso against Marky. And the mid, which is a big meat grinder on this map in late game, is the Lictor Alpha of Ruthless against that Apothecary of Default Knight. Scouts being harassed immediately, couldn't even get their rec point in. Looks like the Hormagaunts will get theirs though. There's a heal from the Apothecary, and now the Tactical Marines can open up, but they also get flesh hooked. Lictor Alpha straight on them to tie them up. Apothecary not tying up the Termagants, trying to get rid of the Lictor Alpha quickly here. I was going to say, is it worth the Tactical Marines just trying to fight him in melee, but they dropped a model pretty quickly there. Gets rid of the Lictor Alpha, but does not kill a single Termagant Brood model or a Hormagaunt Brood model so far. Apothecary heals himself now. Devastator's on their way for the Tenso. The Tenso got more scouts up. Warrior Brood for Marky. All three Tyranid players with a double Termagant Brood opening. Into Warrior Brood also for Ruthless. Oh, Ravener Alpha's gone down in the north. Got some bolter fire to the face. Oh, maybe shotguns as well. Hormagaunts coming in. Shotgun blast, was waiting for it. There it is. And attacks with some melee as they were trying to get up there, the Hormagaunts. Could have kept them in play and gone on to melee the Termagants, but they were quite close to dropping a model there, I think. And he didn't want that to happen, just to kill a few Termagants, because Marines are like 75 rec position to reinforce. Devastator's on the way for Jamboo now. And there's the Tensos with these Lamenters. Hormagaunts flee. Old Termagant's getting suppressed as well, and there's some shotguns in it. Need the Sergeants to spot the Lictor Alphas. Don't see any yet. Oh, Default Knight has one. Sergeants know how to look at stuff. Real good. Even though they don't have the auto senses that Tactical Marines would have in their visors, they can spot stuff better, apparently. Lictor Alpha's in there on the devs. Good shotgun blast in. There's a crippling poison on the scouts, so they can't flee. Taking a bunch of damage. They're okay. Lictor Alpha just trying to get the Devastators off the field here. Won't give up. We'll keep pushing them. And there they are, off the field. Can they possibly get onto the power? It can be quite difficult to hit these powers on Meridian, but certainly not unheard of. Force Commander's level to 2. Ravener Alpha back to the field. And we've got more Warrior Brood and now a Ravener Brood for Ruthless. And there's a Sanguine Chainsword for the Apothecary. Gives him a self-heal on hit. Allows him to brawl and be aggressive and maybe use the heal on his allies instead. Purification Rites is in as well. Always been an awesome piece of war gear. And there's Armor of Purity. Fully kitting out this Apothecary here in Tier 1 pretty early. Lots of pressure from the Tyranids, as we'd expect early against Space Marines. They can take a few minutes to get their momentum going in a 3v3, the Space Marines. They typically only have those Scouts and Marines up for the first couple of engagements. Apothecary down. Force Commander is also down. So maybe... oh, they're all three down? No. Tenso's up. So either the Tenso can get a bunch of XP, or maybe a Larimer's Blessing from Default Knight. We shall see. The Tenso is rotating towards the mid, but it may just be to get onto this VP here. Ravener Brood also up for Centzontotochtin. Looks like the Tenso is thinking about revives maybe. Mid is still red. Oh, Termagant Brood's leveling up though, killing Marines. Can the Tenso even get to those bodies? Oh, the Fortnite's just repurchased himself. 391 to 294. Trying to stay relatively mobile with these Devastators here is the Tenso. Which is a great tip for new players. They will often be very, very defensive and static with their setup teams, new players. Typically you want to move those guys around. Don't be predictable with your placement. Lictor Alpha now gets suppressed and goes down. Was able to melee one of those models there, which meant that the others went moving around a bit. Devastators get away, and Lictor Alpha is going to revive Lictor Alpha. 343 to 494 on the VP's double cap for the Space Marines. Building up a pretty decent VP lead here despite the early pressure on them. Apothecary is almost leveled up. Power bashing the southern contested power here, and the natural power towards the northwest now being hit. Is there anything to run interference here? Where's the Ravener Alpha? Oh, there he is. Scouts don't want to go in alone. Force Commander shows up. Tax is still healing. They bash the node and are decapping it. Now bashing power gen. 321 to 494 on the VPs. One gen down. And the decap. Yes, decap is in. Apothecary now getting involved. Force Commander's there too. Apothecary levels the 2. Okay, they got a node and a gen. And a decap, which meant power was completely wiped out there until it's retaken. Decent little push from Centzontotochtin, and goes tier 2. Also Jamboo about to hit tier 2. All 3 Tyranid players have gone. Center is blue. Needs to be careful not to overextend here, the Ruthless, because they are 2v1 pretty much. Centzon, I think, is completely off the field now. Still wants to be aggressive though. The Lictor Alpha, level 3 this fella. No war gear, but he's doing really well. Messing up some scouts. Are they going to wipe? The scouts do indeed wipe. Those were Jamboos. And a big old retreat afterwards from Ruthless. So they're going to lose the mid VP. But I don't think Ruthless could have played it better. Maybe they could have backed off and waited for Centzon and stayed in play. And harassed enough to stop this cap. But they got a scout squad down. And those guys had a sergeant, I'm pretty sure. G's to the Brood on the way for Marky Mark. Tax versus Termagants. Termagants don't trade particularly well there. Although they did have the heavy cover advantage. Here come a bunch of scouts from the Tenso. Grenade is easily dodged. This area being locked down by the Devastators at the moment. Meanwhile, oh, drop pod. Dropping some Stern Guard in for Jamboo. First company Marines that can change their ammo type to combat all targets. They start in with the Hellfire rounds loaded in at the moment. For some damage over time, they're like acid rounds. That only affect heroes and light infantry though. Oh, Ravener Alpha's got Corrosive Devour up. Amazing weapon. Almost 43 plasma. Oh no, he got did he get nerfed? No, it didn't. It's still like 43 DPS plasma. 291 to 427. Assault squad on the field for the Fortnite. Kind of a late assault squad coming in. Could do a lot of work here. Whenever your opponent has to adjust to a new threat, you get a little window where you can maybe do some more damage against them. They're not quite expecting that jump coming in. Crippling Poison slows down the assault squad though. Venom Brood in play, keeping their Venom Cannons for now. Getting really close to stuff though. What are they doing? I guess they got places to be. There's the assault squad jump again. Lictor Alpha is there, but couldn't counter-initiate effectively. He certainly could, though, with the power weapon in. Marky Mark is down. Maybe they were trying to push aggressively to get that revive there, maybe. What's going on? Centzontotochtin with the decap on the VP. May need to run, though, and does. And there's a Thunderhammer Force Commander with Teleporter Pack now. Can teleport into that back lines and really mess stuff up. They're trying to keep things separated now, but it's not easy. Meanwhile, the blue team's natural gets decapped thanks to the Tenso. Genes to the Brood going in. Melee superiority unit, and they're tearing apart the Techmarine who goes down. He's got a plasma gun in hand, though. This is a Venom Brood drop? Yeah, Venom Brood drop from Marky Mark. All 3 blue players now with the Venom Brood. And the Whirlwind is in play, and there's a Power Axe. Forget the Sanguine Chainsword, give me a bigger axe. Power melee with drains energy. Double cap for the Space Marines, though. Blue team need to get those VPs locked down a bit. Maybe not overextend so much. And you can see why they're doing it. They're trying to keep the... They're trying to catch the Space Marines flat-footed as they move in, rather than let them set up a position and try to hit it. Also trying to push the powers, of course. Sometimes you need to leave some stuff back to like fall back towards. What is this? More Stern Guard for the Tenso this time. Typically a really good shout against Tyranids because they have lots of light infantry that you can tear through. Apothecary, you're okay there, bud? Backing away a bit. Now fighting some Horngaunts. Big special attack going in. That was awesome. Big fight. Whirlwind getting some good disruption. Scouts looking for grenades. Looks like that one did not hit much. Genies did a Brood looking for those Marines. They will tear them apart. A couple of good hits on the Whirlwind so far. Is that a pheromone? Yes, pheromone cloud in there. Allowing those Horngaunts to reinforce. And the Assault Squad having a rough time, actually. Dropping a couple of models there. Perhaps lucky to get away at all, let alone with 2 models. More Stern Guard, this time for Default Knight. Can only have 1 Stern Guard squad on the field, and there is the pheromone from Ruthless. Meanwhile, Marky Mark with Feeder Tendrils and the Deadly Jump. Blue team retain the mid. It's a good fight for them there, the Tyranids, actually. Can they get revived for Centzontotochtin, though? They need that scary Corrosive Devourer on the field, I think. Rezzing, says Ruthless. Centzon running interference here. Force Squadron's level 3. Crippling Poison is up. And they're trying to just shoot him to death. And it's working. It is working. Is that Ruthless still going north? Yeah, still trying to get onto the revive. Plasma attacks over there, I think. Alongside the Stern Guard. They're going to try and target the Warrior Brood or the Venom Brood. Get some really good damage. Triple cap for the blue team. That is effective. Blue team able to get onto those VPs very quickly. Sorry for that little cut there. Had a phone call coming in. Triple cap still in play. Assault Squad looking for a fight, and they found one, and it's Angels of Death from Default Knight now. 50% damage resistance on all of his infantry, but the Assault Squad still taking huge amounts of damage. That Ravener Alpha's back at base now. That was all Ruthless doing work there. Got a melee Synapse Warrior Brood. And, oh, doesn't have melee Raveners yet. I think it would be worthwhile to get them. Really punish those Assault Marines, eh? Ravener Alpha now shows up. Starts pouring damage on the Stern Guard, who quickly move. Death Spitters in for Centzontotochtin. They still have Venom Brood with ranged Synapse and Venom Cannons as well. Librarian looking for the Force Barrier. Yep, took a bunch of damage to get that off though. Meanwhile, in the south, the Tenso stuff. No, this is Jamboo. This is the Tenso, leveling up a bit. Lictor Alpha down. Yep, that is Marky Mark down. And the Whirlwind still going. Speaking of Whirlwinds, here comes another one from Default Knight. And Jamboo having some good play pushing through here. And gets the tunnel down. Can he get onto this power? Do they dare? It's kind of far, eh? Seems kind of far when you got lumbering marines. Plasma cannon on the way for Jamboo. He's in tier 3. Waiting for power to get Terminators up, perhaps. Assault squad looking for a fight, and they found a Lictor Alpha who promptly flees. Scouts looking for a grenade. That was so risky. And they did throw it. They did throw it, but it went down. Those were the Tenso scouts, who now has no scouts. Gone tier 3 though. I'm hoping we see a Venerable Dreadnought just dropped into this back line, but we'll see. Gene Stealers are, oh, they got some assault squad on retreat path. Look at that damage. That was mental. They do get away. Double Whirlwinds with a whole bunch of disruption here. And a Tarantula turret to cover this approach from the Techmarine. Getting some good suppression and damage on that infantry. Are those Raveners going to cap? There we go, they're trying to cap the mid. Capillary Tower. No, there's a full Tyranids formation. Takes out the Whirlwind. That's a good nuke. Effects on the way, says Marky Mark. And he's not lying. Ruthless also has one on the way. And Centzontotochtin able to push through again. But a pretty scary melee blob, ranged blob here. With the Death Spitters as well. And of course the Synapse Aura for damage, affecting all this stuff. Plasma attacks though, they'll do some work for you. Stern Guard using their Kraken rounds to damage the heavy infantry of the Venom Broods. Try and get those Synapse backlashes. And there's some, and they show no fear. Which gives them, I think it gives them 50% damage resistance. Able to tank the Corrosive Devourer there. Good pressure though from Centzon. They got the cap. And they're away kind of okay-ish. Yeah, they just lost some termagants and stuff. Still a VP lead though for the Space Marines. Stern Guard in the mid, getting the Hellfire rounds loaded, but there's the big old Carnifex from Ruthless. Gone for Stranglethorn Cannon. We've got some Assault Terminators in play now. From Jamboo, unique to the Force Commander. They can get onto the Carnifexes maybe. Here's the second one from Marky Mark. Second one total, that is. But that overcharged Techmarine doing work there. But can't really touch the Carnifex very effectively. Looks like it's Hormagaunts taking mid. Whirlwind goes down. There was the Warrior Brood with their adrenal glands getting the last hit, I think. Plasma Cannon. Is it a good shot? It's a pretty good shot. There's that Stranglethorn suppressing the Assault Squad. They've really been in the wars, these fellas, but they get away again. They get away again. We've got some more Terminators up with a Tenso this time. These guys with Storm Bolters and Power Fists. And a late Dreadnought for Default Knight. Perhaps with an Assault Cannon. Did that hit the Terminators there? I'm not sure. It wouldn't have suppressed them, of course. I think it maybe missed the back model. That one definitely hit. And that hit all three models. That was a big hit. 1-to-1 cap. Mid is uncapped. And look at that. Space Marines on the natural. Starting to get that snowball effect now when Terminators start hitting the field. So much staying power. Although, can the Stern Guard have staying power? No, they can't. They got Stranglethorn Cannon to death. Those were Default Knight's Stern Guard. Retreat there from Centzontotochtin. Terminators now for... Yeah, those are the Tensos again. They got their Cyclone Missile Launcher in. It's so good. Dreadnought. Oh, he stayed in melee for now. Okay. Double the Strangle Thorns over there. Will damage a Dreadnought for sure. But now they're being mobbed by Terminators. And there's Mark Target on the Carnifex. It's already really low. Trying to get the hell away. Needs to keep moving, I think. Don't shoot. Being chased all the way back, and they're going to be able to get a full cap on this VP and get a triple going, I think. The Space Marines, although Sneaky Hormagaunts got their natural look. Assault Squad getting in there. Worth it to get some Neurothropes going, I think. But it's hard to resist the call of getting more Carnifexes going. I think some Thornbacks would be good. If they do. Preventing them getting their VP back. That's some Tactical Marines with the Sergeant trying to use And They Show No Fear to tank it out, but they can't do it. And these guys looking for a power bash, I think. And it should be a pretty quick one. What level is that Ravener Alpha now? Level 3. This will help him get some more XP here. Didn't finish the node, fellas. There you go. Mid is uncapped now. Assault Terminator is looking for a flank alongside a bunch of Marines. Oh, and a Librarian. And he's quite dangerous in melee with this thing. Would make short workers for the Venom Brood, for example. Centzon trying to stay in play and needs to run. Needs to be very careful with that. Dreadnought looking for some melee on retreat as well. Goes for the big Emperor's Fist. I think he should have just gone for an individual hit there to try and get a model. Meanwhile, Hormagaunts capping mid. The Tenso needs to be careful here. Is this 2v1? Yeah. This is Marky Mark and Ruthless. Lictor Alpha with Corrosive Claws now. Increasing the damage that something takes when it gets hit, and there's that pheromone. Terminator's backing away. 41 to 166. VPs getting kind of tight for the Tyranids now. Just don't have the staying power to hold the mid, do they? Centzon still doesn't have anything big and stompy. Oh, there we go. I'm lying. Carnifex is in, and it is a Thornback. That could maybe bully this bunch of Marines that Jamboo has. Needs to be careful of these Assault Terminators, of course, still. Whirlwind, is that? No, that's just a Cyclone. Dreadnought still in melee. And Apothecary is level 5. Okay, now Jamboo's seen the Carnifex. Land Ray Redeemers coming in for the 2 Space Marine players now. Big retreat there. Can get onto this VP again. I think needs to. I think Centzon needs to keep getting onto that VP. Try to drag these guys out. Got some Vanguard veterans now for the Fortnite. They need a good fight here, the Tyranids, because they're down to 14 VPs. There's the 1-to-1. Force Quander's in the back lines doing stuff. Carnifex turns around to try and fight him. Level 6 this Force Commander doing a lot of work. Carnifex with big hits though. Does get rid of him. Now can turn back to the Terminators. Gets a good special. And there's the walk back to safety. Thanks to the Librarian. Expended a lot of effort and a lot of damage there, but didn't actually kill anything. That's sometimes the way of it against Terminators and stuff. There's Angels of Death again, and some sneaky Ravener Broods. They weren't knocked over because of the Angels of Death. And now it's a Purification Right Seal. Still on 14 VPs, the Tyranids. 2 Land Raiders on the field now, though. And 4 Carnifexes. One of them without an upgrade at the moment. Might need some Venom Cannons once they see these Land Raiders. Couldn't quite get onto this VP here, Centzontotochtin. But holds the mid. Holds the mid. Vanguard backing off. Jumping back towards their Land Raider there. Can reinforce around the Land Raider and retreat back to it. It's an amazing support vehicle. And now they have 2 of them. Predator tank on the way for Default Knight, who's down to 2 units at the moment. Tenso, you okay there, bud? Level 7, this fella. Where did the other Land Raider go? Oh, it's right here. Tyranids with a 2-to-1. Can they hold on to it, though? It's not going to be easy. Have some good rosters. I really think they should get a Neurothrope up. Lots of red for Centzontotochtin and for Marky Mark as well. So some Tyranid formations could stop caps. Pour some damage onto the Land Raider, maybe. They're trying. This one's going Stranglethorn as well. They do have a Venom Cannon one back there, though, I think. Yes. Ruthless has one. A lot of damage they put on the Land Raider here. But there's another Land Raider. Down goes a Lictor Alpha. Tactical Marines capping the mid. No. Oh, that's Stern Guard capping the mid. Got hit by the Stranglethorn, but they didn't get suppressed there. It looked like. Single cap now for the Tyranids. And something is on red team's natural. Assault Terminators coming in for Jamboo. Are these new? No, they're the same ones. So they are going to cap the mid, the Space Marines. This Land Raider got very low, though. And the blue team did grab this thanks to Centzon, I assume. Yes. Some Pormagaunts over there. This Carnifex is the Thorn back. Charges away. Could have kept chunking down the Land Raider, but was taking damage from the Predator tank here, which got very, very low, down to 6 hit points, this fella. Still a 2-to-1. What is this? That's the Apothecary killing some Hormagaunts, and over here, Vanguard looking for the cap. Need to very quickly get back out onto the field, the Tyranids. Very quickly. Marky Mark needs to spend those resources. Might not have time to wait for anything else. Corrosive Devourer also gives you corrosive shots to damage vehicles, which makes it even better. Down goes one of the Land Raiders and the Predator. GG, says the Tenso, though, with the double. Yeah, Space Marines have done enough. It was that push at the end when the Tyranids were low on VP. They just couldn't get back out onto the field quickly enough there. We had a level 4 Ravener Alpha, a level 6 and level 2 Lictor Alphas. They both have pheromones? Yeah. This guy had the deadly jump. Level 7 Techmarine. Getting some repairs going at the end there. Level 5 Apothecary. Big old axe. And a level 7 Force Commander. Thunderhammering to the end. And there you have it, guys. It was a close one. Down to 41 VPs. Thank you all for watching. Big thanks to these players for playing a faction war for us. And of course the Tenso for getting me this replay. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see ya next time.